And welcome back. We are continuing, skipping ahead around, I guess, a little bit. Last time we looked at some CSS stuff. As I was thinking about it, you can get deep into that quickly, so I'm not going to mess with too much of the CSS. I did do a little bit of playing around, and we'll have that in the in GitHub if you want to see some of this stuff as it kicks into shape. Not all of it's actually getting picked up in my browser right now. There's some caching issue, and I'm not going to actually dive into it because instead I want to get to a couple of the other functions. And one of the things I want to work through is the idea that we've now got these parent-child relationships is to put something to display those a little better, starting with roadmaps. So if I go to roadmaps, if I go to annual goals, I have 2 time frames underneath that. But when I look at my roadmap, I don't know it. So what I want to do is I'm going to go in on my roadmaps. Let's see. Let me see if I can. Yes, I can close that terminal. I'm going to shut a couple of these down. So I've got a little more to work with because I'm going to want my URLs, which is here. So if I go to roadmap, so I've got list roadmaps and create. So I want list roadmaps. And that's here. And when I come through, I'm just pulling roadmap objects right now. And what I want to do, have we shown? Okay, I don't think we've actually done a raw yet. So we're going to take a look at that. Or if we did, let me go over here real quick and see. Views, maybe. No, we didn't do it there. So we may not have covered that. Let's see, did we cover it here? No, we did some straight up stuff. So, okay, so we're going to look at raw. So that's one of the things that we can do here is instead of doing a either all or doing filtered or order by, we can actually do a .raw where we're going to do a full, I think we're going to still do order by name, except I'm going to do that within it, where I can actually just send a query back and I'm going to get it. But now I'm going to need to do something, because it's a roadmap, I'm going to need it to be somewhat similar to the roadmap that I had. And so what I need to do here is I'm going to select from roadmap, and I'm going to take a look at my roadmap model. So here's what I've got. And we're going to get a little bit complicated here, but I'm going to select my name, comma, start date, comma. So I don't think I think I used time, but I wasn't even doing anything with it. So I'm going to do, let's see, timeframes, which I'm going to actually have to assign that out, and minutes. From, this is whatever the name of this thing is. So let's go take a look at this in MySQL real quick. I'm going to do a terminal. Actually, I'm going to do a big terminal. And here, just go there for the fun of it. If I go to my settings, where I put my settings, here we go. It is, that's my password and the user's root. So if I come over here, here. So MySQL-u root-p, put in my password, and now if I see here, I can see where this is my DP project, so I'm going to use that. And then if I show tables, I can see all the tables, and the one I'm going to want is DP project roadmap. So let's start with this, select star from DP project roadmap. And so what I'm going to see is here's my roadmaps. Now I've got the name, which is good. I think I'll keep my ID. So let's put that here. I'm going to select ID. And this is from DP project. Remember, we use it's the project name underscore the name of the model is the title, is the table name, or you can look at it the way I did. So I'm going to do that. And then I want to do order by name. So if I take that, it's not going to like timeframes or minutes. So let's see. So now what I'm going to need to do is figure out what are my time frames and what are my minutes. Now what I can do there is I actually can go down to my time frames. We're going to teach a little bit of SQL here. So if I select from time frames and then I'm going to enter join, and actually let's do this. Well, I'm just going to do it this way. And I'm going to call him map. I'm going to do a Mahler map. RMP, that's good. On RMP dot ID equals this guy. Call him TF. I'm going to keep it star equals TF dot roadmap ID. So now I'm going to see, so I can see all of these, and I'm going to see all these tasks. I'm sorry, all these time frames. So annual personal goals, and then I can see the name, which is the roadmap. So it's sort of all blurs together, and actually all of these are on the same roadmap, which will be easy enough to do. So one of the things I want to do with this is now, instead of getting anything from the time frame, I'm just going to get my roadmap, which goes back to my query here. So I want ID names and start date. So, but I have to prefix it with the alias I just used, which is that TF. Is it not start date? Oh, I'm sorry, not TF. It's got to be RMP. My mistake, because I'm over here. I aliased out the roadmap, and I want the roadmap information. So I'm going to take the roadmap start date, roadmap name, roadmap ID. So if I do that, now you see I just get that same roadmap all the time. So now what I need to do is I can add a group by. I'm going to group by the rmp.id. So now I know that I've got 4 tasks here. So now I'm just going to get one row, but now I need to go get my number of tasks, right? So I'm going to get, so I'm going to do here, and I just do count rmp.id, and then I get to cast it as, I'm going to call that as time frames. So now I can see that I've got 4 time frames, and now if I want to add up the minutes, where's the minutes here? Which there's probably almost none. Oh, I'd have to go actually into the tasks for those. So let's not do that yet. But let's go ahead and do, and we'll just hardwire it for now. So I'm going to do 0 as minutes. And so I get that. So I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste that little raw query. And although it's not going to give me the same item I have, I'm still going to be inner join. Oh, I didn't copy and paste that right, I don't think. Oh, let's do it this way. There we go. My mistake. And I'm going to take this. I don't need the semicolon at the end. So I've got this big thing, and I've got my ID, name, start date, time frames. So now I need to change my roadmap list. Where that's at. That's up here somewhere. So if I go to my roadmap list, now, besides all this other stuff that I've added, yeah, see, time spent was actually 0, but now that's going to be item.minutes because I'm passing that back. And let's see. I'm going to say has, and this is going to be item.timeframes children. So now it's got a certain number of children, and let's just look at it that way. So I save that, and now I see that I've got annual goals. That one has 4 children. Now, you can see I lost my other one there. So what I need to do is fix my query. Because I have an inner join, that means only bring back the tasks where there's a parent. So instead, I'm not going to make it an inner join. I'm going to do a left join. Actually, I'll say left join. So if I do that, and let's look at that query real quick. If we do that one, what we're going to see over here, whoops, I need a semicolon, is it's getting all of those. So it's grabbing, because it's going by tasks, which is a bit of, so we need to reverse it. Here we go. So here we're doing it from time frames, but we actually need to do it from the roadmap. And we're going to join it on the time frames and see what happens. Whoop, need my semicolon. And so now I see that I've got one time frame because it only counts it once. And so I really need to count the time frame ID, which is easy enough to do. So here, instead of counting the RMP ID, I'm going to count the time frame IDs, right? And as we come over here, let's get this, put my semicolon, and now we see that I get that. And so now if I go to my app, I see that I've got this and I've got my children. So we've been able to take that parent-child into our interface, and that's the next thing we're going to do, is we're going to step down to the next level and start looking at sub-time frames and also time elapsed or spent on something based on its task, on a time frame based on its tasks. Because once we get down to a task, or to a time frame, then we have tasks, and we're going to be able to work with those. And we're going to do a little cleaning up here as well, because not being able to see my last item on there. So that'll be our next steps. We're going to continue digging into this, making this a little easier to deal with, and be able to see more useful information when we go through it, and then start actually walking through the application and do sort of a user acceptance test and build out some tasks. So that's some stuff to look forward to. As always, hope you go out there and have yourself a great day, and we will talk to you. Oh, by the way, this is, I believe now, episode 38 that we are working on. Maybe a little further up that. Let me check that real quick. So this is actually 39. This is going to be day 39. If you're following along in GitHub, take a look at the day 39 tag, and you'll be able to see the code that's here and take it moving forward from there. So once again, have yourself a great day. We will talk to you next time.